Hey, this is Mr. Everything, and I took a little break, but now I'm back. I have some more videos in mind, and I figured one of the first things I wanted to get back to was the Amazon Fire TV that I unboxed pretty much about a month ago, I think almost exact, and pretty much everything I wanted to show, a lot of it I talked about in the unboxing, because it was more than just an unboxing. I was talking about getting a rooted Fire TV and why you should get a rooted one and what you can do with a rooted one. And I actually did pretty much all of that stuff the same day I got it, and I've never done like ADB side loading or connecting to the device. I've never done that before. There's a website called aftvnews.com, and their tutorials are just really good, very in depth, very detailed, and they're very like connected, and the little links to get to the other parts if there's something you don't understand. So I learned from that. I read it a few days before I got it, and I'll put that in the description, but I'm just going to show you something. Like I said, I pretty much did all this the day I got it. First thing I did was, after I started it up, was unlock the bootloader, got custom recovery on it, then did some like little tweaking things and put the Play Store on to make sure I knew what I was doing before I got into anything serious. And then I went and put a newer firmware version that you it'll lock root if it's the stock firmware, but it's rooted. It's kind of hard to explain because I'm trying to think of how they referred to it, but it's still a more current version. So now, when I originally got this, Talroot was installed with Super SU, and I think no, that wasn't. I put that on, and maybe this BusyBox. So I don't even use that. I'm not sure what it's for, but all these other apps, some are Amazon, but like Chrome and stuff, I put those on. So I think the first thing I'll show, because again this is about how the rooted TV is different, would be the Google Play Store. And also, when I do typing and searching, I'm going to be using the, hopefully we focus there, let me, there. I'll be using this Logitech, I believe it's called the K400. It's a really good keyboard. It was on sale for Black Friday. So it works perfectly if this, like, for example, I press the home button, it actually takes me home, and there's a button to turn off your PC. It'll put the screen, like, turn the screen off, so it doesn't actually restart it or turn it off, but it does put the screen off, so that's nice. One of the things I don't like is since you have to go down here to access your Android apps. Oh, that was Chrome I actually brought up. I didn't want to bring that up, but you can see it works. So let me go back to the Play Store. And I think this is the newest Play Store. I'm not going to mess with it right now. And you can see not all my apps are showing up that I have downloaded, so let me go over here and type in Real Racing 3 and see if it comes up. It doesn't, although I do have it installed. So another thing you have to do, because I did restart my TV here before I did this video, is an app called Market Helper, and then launch it. And then what it does is you pick your device, and on the guide they suggest picking the Nexus 7, but I just suggest picking the Nvidia Shield because it's technically even a better device, but either probably gives you the full Play Store. But so then you scroll all the way down here to United States, and then pick AT&T, and then you just would go to activate. And it does say, see, you can see it now, it's registered as an Nvidia Shield. It tells you to go to the Android Device Manager on a different thing, and it'll track it, and then I guess that confirms it or refreshes it as this device. But for this, I'm just going to leave it like that. If I go back to the Play Store, you're still not going to see all the apps because sometimes you have to close the store and then reopen it, which I'll try. But it does work because that's how I got Real Racing 3 to show up. So even if it doesn't show up this time, let me just get rid of that autofocus. That's not working here. Even if it still doesn't show up, it's technically still, I mean, you can get to it. And also you can just do APKs now that I have apps. Well, hopefully you get the idea. If you read the guide, you'll understand how it works, and then you should be able to get it to work. So let me show a quick little bit about the browser system. You can see still have a little bit of storage left. I need to get either a flash drive or an enclosure for an old hard drive I have, so I can put some more things on here. I am just using a non-powered USB hub. Well, it's USB powered, no power supply. It's just another cable and more electricity to be used, so it's fine. All I have is connected to just the wireless dongle for the keyboard, and if I need to connect a flash drive, I've connected a smaller one for some small file transfers. Again, I wish there were just people I think referred to it as a shelf on the Amazon home screen so you could get to your Android apps. So if I want to go to YouTube, let's go tell it to use Chrome. I have a few extra browsers on here right now because I'm experimenting, but you can see I'm signed into my account, so I don't think it'll play anything right now. Let's just give it a try. Let's see. So I do have the YouTube app, both the Android YouTube app and the Amazon version. It's more the desktop or the TV version, which I actually like. Then I have Firefox, which I do have Flash Player on here, and it doesn't work on Chrome because Chrome just kind of got rid of Flash Player, which was dumb because most of the websites, even like YouTube, don't always even recognize to switch to the HTML or whatever. I do have AdBlock, as you can see, as well, but I don't think it works. It works fine on my tablet, and this is running a version of Android, but I think the way it's set up, because you're going in-app, I just don't like, because ads still pop up on the browser, ads still pop up on the YouTube app. I still have it here. I might get rid of it. I'm not seeing any ads being blocked, but I did try it. So for the Flash Player, you can either search on Google like the last version that was compatible on Android, download the APK, and then just install it, and you will get Flash Player, but you only notice it on browsers like Firefox. So that's why I put Firefox. But an issue with Firefox is you can't get to the settings. Same with Chrome on here. For some reason, it's just there's no settings. If you have the Android tablet or phone, you would know that there's a settings up here. There's no settings. So there's a setting that makes it so if you want to play a Flash video, if you have a Flash Player, that you need to click the video to play it. And some videos, they just kind of stay black and you don't get the plug-in pop up to do that. So it does work. It's the best I can come up with for now. And there's a few other browsers like the Puffin browser I downloaded. I think it was just a free trial that they were allowing of the full Flash support. So I don't know. I really don't need too much of that stuff. Most of it you can find on YouTube, and once I get to that, that'll kind of be the fix for everything else. Super SU, I actually can't open the app anymore. When I updated the ROM to the pre-rooted ROM, it already had this pre-installed, and there's no option to actually open the app, but it's not that big of a deal. A lot of these Amazon apps I do not use. The ones I use, if I hit the home button on my keyboard, are these ones right here. Games play pretty good. I was happy with Real Racing and Asphalt 8. Real Racing didn't run as smoothly as on my Nexus 7, but it was okay. And it's obviously going to look way worse on a big screen for a game that was made to be played on a 10-inch or smaller tablet. And I'm going to do a little bit of coverage here on XBMC. I could just do an entire video on this, so if anyone is really interested in this, let me know. I can do something. Right now, you can see there is live TV. I don't have a PVR or file or directory set up because the one I was using doesn't work anymore, and then the other one was good. It was like between 1,500 and 2,000 channels, and then for some reason it went way up to 7,000, and that just took forever to load, and most of them didn't work. So right now I'm not doing with the PVR client, but that's okay. You can find a lot of, let's see, add-ons here. These are some of the ones I'm using. I have mashup working again. I think there's some videos on it. You can see it still pops up with the error, but you can't get it to work. You just have to look up some videos on YouTube. Now, I'm not going to give too many sources away for this, because in general, when you give things away, if there are people trying to stop you, they'll get the thing shut down or the link shut down. If you want to look this up, just go on Google or on YouTube and you'll find it. The less links and sources out there, the better. So if it's that important to you, if it's not, then why should I, risk compromising that link for someone that might not even be interested? So if you are, just look it up, you'll find it. There's some really neat things in this I really like. And you get a good bit of settings, so I'm not going to go through everything. This isn't really a XBMC demo, but just to show you what XBMC can do on a Fire TV. You can run XBMC on any version of the Fire TV, I believe. I don't think it needs to be rooted. This came pre-installed as well, but I did add all the repositories and add-ons and such. And you can even see like some of your specs, like how much memory is being used, your CPU usage, things like that. It's pretty neat. I do believe 14.0 Kodi or whatever is stable now. I didn't install XBMC on here, so I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I might look up some tutorials. I'm pretty happy with this, so I might not even upgrade. I don't know. You can even find live TV in a lot of these apps, like this one's like iLive, and then there's sports, which you can find live sports. I watched a few, like I think it was Final Battle. The stream qualities aren't that good, but for free you really shouldn't be complaining at all. There's definitely, I think one channel's pretty good. Found a lot of things I wanted to watch on there. So again, if you want to see more about XBMC, just let me know. If not, I mean, there's plenty of other videos out there. And I think what I'll close on, I showed you the browser, I showed you the Play Store, a little error with the Play Store, but you can get all the apps on there. You just have to run that Market Helper and let it refresh, and you should find all available apps. And then obviously the Amazon apps. This isn't an overview of the Fire TV stock. I mean, there's hundreds of videos on that. You'll definitely need ES File Explorer. That's the easiest way to open up your APKs, because as soon as you get that and you get a web browser set up, you don't need to do ADB anymore. I haven't used ADB really since like maybe the first few days I had this, because you can just download and then go to your downloads folder, and then these APKs in here, you just open them and install from here, which is nice. So the last thing I want to do is show you Real Racing 3 playing on this, because this was the big thing. The Nexus player doesn't have the full store, the full app store. So I decided, well, let me see if I can get it on here, because this is the more powerful device than the Nexus player. And I figure, well, it's hopeless, because what's the chances that you'll be able to get the Google Play Store? But since there is that, and I was able to get around it to get the Real Racing 3 to show up, hopefully it will work. Let me turn on my PS3 controller and do a little tutorial here for myself. I believe it will be under, it's been a while since I used this. I only tried it once. We should connect, because I have this set up from a while ago. If not, it's not a big tragedy. I can show you on my keyboard. Okay, so that took a little while for my controller to sync, but it actually did. I thought for a second maybe it wasn't going to work, because I did previously have it set up and you have to type in the MAC or the Bluetooth address, and you have to do that through your computer. Again, that's a tutorial for another time, but you can get the DualShock 3. See? So I'll have to edit the video out for that little wait there. But let me go ahead and start Real Racing 3 and prove that it does work, and then I'll end the video. A little lengthy, but again, how many videos out there are there of the Fire TV rooted playing Real Racing 3? So I definitely wanted to show this. Connects. That's another neat thing about this game, because you can do backup saves. You can back up your save to the cloud. So I was able to resume where I left off on my tablet. And as you can see, it's downloading some updates, so again, the video will have to be cut. Okay, so the game is finally updated and installed. And it should just be basically like the Android version from here on out. And as you can see now, it realized that my controller setup and the keyboard is also. So let me switch to my keyboard so I can, I don't think it'll let me. Okay, just had to press X. And the game is up and running. Some free currency, that's always nice. And then this is just a quick overview of what you can see in this update. The controls aren't the greatest because I'm trying to get this to go away. Sometimes it's easier to use the keyboard. Okay, so I decided that the Real Racing demo was going to take a little bit too long. I was going to run the video long. You have to sync your 6-axis controller up, the DualShock 3, or the 4 if you have that, and then you have to let the game in and add to do some updates and things, and then you have to configure your controls to get it to recognize the PlayStation controller, which can take a few tries. Sometimes you have to close the game and reopen it and switch the control settings until it finally recognizes it. If someone really wants to see that video, let me know and I'll do it in the future, or maybe I'll just at some point when I have time do that. But there are other videos I want to do and I don't want this to go too long. But you can definitely tell it does run Real Racing 3. I'll probably get a little clip of at least the game starting up and working on here. And again, I showed you everything else. That's pretty much everything you can do on a rooted Fire TV. I definitely recommend one. They're on sale. The newer ones might not be rootable, so I did pay more for an old one that was on old firmware that was already pre-rooted from someone else that had it. You pay more, but for me it was worth it. It just comes down to you. You can still do a lot of things on just a factory one, but definitely look it up. Look up the prices on eBay for what they're going for, or just take a risk and buy one new from Amazon. Again, I think they're only like $70 right now. So some are still on old firmware. You just gotta look up how to turn them on and get them set up without letting them update. And, the Fire TV stick, I believe, also can be rooted, but it has to be done hardware-wise with some soldering. So if you would want to get a Fire TV stick, you're probably not going to be able to root unless you pay for someone to do it, or you're really good with soldering and such. But I'm going to end this video now. Hopefully this shows you, at least give you some interest in the Fire TV and what you can do if you root it. Let me know if there's anything you wanted to see, any more further detail on XBMC or Real Racing 3 if you want to see that. And I hope this helped you, and I'll have some more videos out soon. So thanks for watching.